Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative. Today we are playing with the MacBook Air, the M2. This has been out for a little bit. But before I start this, I haven't used a computer, I haven't owned a laptop or anything. I've used computers. I haven't owned a laptop, a desktop, or anything in about 10 years now. I've been purely on the iPhone, using iPads, and that's not just for consuming media. This is honestly for creating videos. Every video that I've ever produced, except for a few around 2013, were made on an iPhone 12 mini, 13 Pro, iPad Mini. All of them are exactly the same for me because I like minimal edits. I don't edit that much. It's usually just shoot something, kind of splice it together if it's multiple scenes, header, back, and then that's it. And for my photo editing, I use programs. I think I basically use just VSCO for right now, although I will probably be now using Lightroom for iPad. But I got this, which is the least expensive MacBook Air M2 that they have. It's the base model. And I was thinking, I think I need to go back into using a laptop. Like, it's just something I need. I feel, honestly, there are some times when I feel like I'm missing something from the iPad, from the iPhone, and it's not that it's not capable of doing it. It's just that there aren't applications made for it yet to take advantage of the hardware. And a lot of people have been saying that, just like I just said. And for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to get professional Lightroom. I'm going to get Final Cut Pro. I'm going to use it here on the MacBook, and this is probably going to be better for me. But there is one thing that I literally can't do anymore because I've been using iPhone so much, because I've been using iPad, and everything is a touch-based thing. Like, I use the Apple Pencil a lot of the times on the iPad, even though I don't need to. It just becomes second nature whenever I have it. This, using the trackpad, tediously going back and forth, having to check. And now this may just be because I'm kind of new into using a laptop again, but it's just so tedious. Having to long press, having to double click, having to do a lot of things. And again, it's because I'm learning Lightroom, but this is because I've been going through using Safari, downloading apps, kind of just shooting what I can with this laptop because it's something I really wanted to keep, because this laptop has been something that I've wanted for such a long time. The sleekness of the body, just like the insane battery life on this, and just the form factor. It's something that looks professional because when I am editing something, when I'm doing something and somebody sees me using the iPhone, sometimes they do say and think like, okay, you're not really professionally doing this. And it takes a description on my end. I know I'm professionally doing this, but it takes a description. It's something I just don't want to talk about. But I was literally thinking maybe this is just going to kind of fill that gap. I'll be able to carry this light piece of hardware with me and just kind of use it as I can, and I'll be able to use it. But for me, I've tried using iMovie, I've tried using Final Cut Pro, and I'm currently trying Lightroom, and it is tedious. Without a touch screen, without pencil support, actually physically being on here, having to be separated. Now, again, this can become easier, and I'm sure people who've been using computers for the last 10 years, it's actually gotten better, but it doesn't quite line up. I'm used to physically touching the thing right in front of me, manipulating it, zooming in, figuring it out, and this just isn't it. Now, sure, the application Lightroom for Mac is going to be more professional and better. I can do everything, and I've shot professionally. I've done all individual masking. I've done presets. I hate presets now, but I've done, brightness, contrasting, the colors that apply to the entire photo, and I can pick and choose if I want to affect the entire image or a point of that image, and it is so easy to do literally just on this little thing here. It's disappointing because I've been using this for about 2 hours. I had YouTube TV playing in the background. I was playing with this, and I've gone down 6%. So that battery life is insane. It's so good. But honestly, as this was sitting on my lap, as I was watching TV on the couch, it didn't feel right. And this may be just a me thing, and I really don't want to call this a review of the MacBook Air M2, but it's just my experience. And literally, this is my own personal experience, something I paid for. I paid for this with my own money. And yeah, not everybody's going to be in this experience, but I think this goes to the tune where people who are much younger than me are growing up with like touch interfaces. You have to bring more professional and more usable applications to iPhone and iPad, because I do not want to be stuck using this form factor that just doesn't work anymore. Nobody should be forced into this. And I know that they want to separate professional products from consumer and casual products, but this is a powerhouse. This can do everything. It just needs the application too, because literally I can do anything on here. If I could just pinch and zoom, just fine tune everything. Even editing video has been extremely easy. I can layer things. I use a Video Leap on here rather than iMovie. And literally I can layer things. I can layer sound. I can do everything on here. It's just, I feel like there are a few things that I'm missing. Nothing comes to mind right now just because I've been using and I've been stuck with this. But again, I'm a minimalist. I edit minimally. I cut minimally. I do everything as minimal as possible so I can create something and just get it out there. But for me, I'm going to be sticking with Visco for photo editing. I'm going to be sticking with Video Leap for video editing. I think I will be adding Lightroom to the iPad because that pencil input would really work. But for this, I can't believe it because I literally just got this today. I am going to be returning the MacBook Air M2. It is a beautiful, beautiful device. The look of it, I can't get over how beautiful this is. But for me, it's just not for me. I've been trying to force myself into this over the last day, and it doesn't. Like, I've been playing with masks, with the exposure, color, everything I possibly can, trying to make things right. And it is so much easier playing with the exact same image on the phone than it is here. And honestly, I'm going to get a better result. And if you don't know, I shoot in RAW. I edit RAW images. I can do that all on my 12, I think it's the 13 mini, on the 12 mini. I could even do this on an older phone. All you need to do is make sure that this has the wide color gamut. Is it P3? Yeah, I think it's P, I forget exactly what it is. But as long as you can see every color possible. This is also an OLED screen where this is still LED. I know the pros have micro LED, but still not as good as OLED, at least in my opinion. Long story short, they just need to make better applications for tablets and phones so that we can actually use these to our full advantage. So I can just go and pull this out of my pocket wherever I am and just use it. Because this form factor is beautiful. I mean, God, look at it. It's so thin. I'm really upset that this doesn't work for me. Beautiful piece of hardware, just not something that just works anymore. But guys, please let me know. Do you have the same experience? Does everything that I'm saying apply to you as well, or does nothing apply? And I imagine people who've been using laptops are kind of better suited at kind of dual wielding, like an old device where they use this device as well, because everybody has a smartphone and most people have iPhones too. Yeah, I bet people are in a much different boat than I am. The last laptop that I had was the 2003 MacBook Pro. I think it was one of the first ones without the disk drive. I know it didn't have a disk drive, but it's just something that it worked at the time. It's all that was available. iPads, iPhones, they really weren't up to snuff for really full video editing and photo editing. Sure, there was iMovie, I could still have done the same thing, but it wasn't in my mindset. Purely, I am somebody who will be using iPad and iPhone and everything for it. But long story short, I really think, yeah. Have I said this 3 times? It's not a rant. It's just more of a disappointment where I thought something was going to be better than it was. I thought I was getting a great deal. I thought this is just going to solve one of the problems I've been having, but it just doesn't. All right, guys, put everything in the comment section below. Don't forget I'm on Instagram at m8b9. You can email me at matt8b9@gmail.com. Again, I am sure that there's something that I am missing, but again, this is my personal experience. Thank you, guys. I will see you next time.